What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Gamertag VR. Today we are going to be discussing and reviewing probably the most hyped game in VR, definitely this year. And we're going to start with the Quest version. And the reason I want to start with the Quest version is because for you Quest owners, you haven't played BoneWorks. One of the best things about BoneWorks and BoneLabs is the immersiveness of the game. You have a full body in there that you have full control over. The way you interact with objects is something that you don't really get to experience. There is varying weights and heights of you, your avatars, everything in the world. It is a very incredibly immersive experience. If you combine that with stress level zeros, like twisted view, I guess, on games and their levels, I think you're in for a very interesting time. Graphically, this really holds up well. There are times when you kind of forget that you're in the Quest 2, but there's also times you'll definitely remember you're on the Quest. For example, if you go to Tuscany on PCVR or you go to it on Quest, there is a very clear difference between the two graphically. But sometimes and somehow there isn't too much of a disconnect, and I think that's pretty cool. I think what Stress Level Zero have done for a mobile VR headset is truly astounding. The game is 6.5 gig in size. You can play it seated, but obviously be aware of anything around you because this game features a hell of a lot of movement, a lot of climbing, a lot of fighting, a lot of shooting, which everyone I'm sure is going to absolutely love. Now let's flip over now to PCVR. If you play BoneWorks, I'm pretty sure this looks exactly the same as everything I remember, but now both platforms have VR mods integrated into the game, and they're really impressive. If you've been a fan of Contractors and the recent gun mods, you know that in Contractors they've added a bit more depth to like how the guns feel. In Halo, for example, you can have Halo physics where you jump. This is quite similar, as in characters can be heavier, lighter, stronger, weaker, faster. That is very cool, especially considering this game is probably 70% sandbox, and that means you're going to be able to play certain levels and certain pre-made games with different characters, meaning it's going to be a completely different experience every single time. When it comes to the music, BoneWorks always have one of the best soundtracks of any VR game, and possibly a lot of other games out there. The second one doesn't disappoint at all. There are jaw-dropping moments when you walk around, especially when you first meet the central hub and the music kicks in. It's a wow moment. Like, it is a wow moment. You just can't help but look around. And I love that in VR, when that moment happens, when you just like forget, oh yeah, I'm trying to play a game or I'm going somewhere. You just want to look. So to 100% the game, or somehow I've got 120% of the game, you have to do some of the story mode to start the game, which I have got an issue with. It's a very personal issue, but I'm going to put that at the end of the video. If you're thinking of buying it for kids or you're sensitive to certain subjects, go to the end of the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. So as I was saying, you start the game, you play probably 10% of what I would call the story mode. And just to be clear, there is no real narrative in this game. You're going from A to a crazy section in B to C. And then you go around doing all the sandbox levels, like pre-made stuff. Very cool, really enjoyable. Some of them are pretty tough. And obviously, remember, each one of these sandboxes pre-made will be completely different depending on the avatar you use and the weapons and everything else that is customizable in BoneLabs. And then you'll get like probably, I would say, 20% left, 25% left of the story or the single player campaign. I really apologize to call it. It's not a story. It really isn't a story. So to be clear, if you're buying this for a narrative or a story driven game, don't buy it. It's not that game. BoneWorks by far was more of a campaign and story mode than this game, and a lot of people said that had no narrative at all. I actually really enjoy BoneWorks, and I really enjoyed this, but I won't be going back to BoneLabs, and this is where I want to get it clear. BoneLabs is a toy box. It's an incredible toy box. It's a BoneWorks laboratory. That's what it is. If this was only on PC, I would say this would have been like a really cool bit of paid DLC. But on the Quest, it's a different audience because they haven't experienced BoneWorks. This is their BoneWorks. And for you guys, I'm really pleased because you're going to experience some of the most immersive VR gaming I think you'll ever have on that headset in its lifetime. Honestly, I really look forward to the comment section when you guys come back and say, oh my God, like I felt this way, I didn't feel this way. Because it's very diverse, like BoneWorks has been the game I've been championing for a very long time, and some people don't get it and some people do. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments what you think about BoneWorks, and definitely let me know what you think about BoneLabs. When it comes to VR motion sickness, I personally didn't get any, but I know some of my friends have had some motion sickness. I've been absolutely fine. There's also no real comfort options in this. You got snap turning and smooth turning. That's pretty much it. Like, this is what I would say one of the most intense VR games you can play. Now bear in mind, even though I've been saying this game is a lot of sandbox, that is the amazing part about this. You haven't got to, similar to BoneWorks, go to Vortex to add mods. They are going to be in the game, literally in the game. You're going to walk into the game, up to the machine, and you're going to mess around with these mods, and that's going to change the whole game again. The difference of height, weight, strength, speed of every different avatar, and then combine that with all the tools that are available in a BoneWorks laboratory. That is what you've got here. So that's my thoughts. Pretty much, if you want a summary, I think if you're on Quest, I know it's quite expensive. I think it's a little bit expensive. I would pick it up as long as you're not looking for a narrative game. PCVR, I'm not sure. To be honest, I'm not sure. Even though I had fun playing for this review, I don't think I'd ever play it again. But that's because I'm not that type of person. I don't really want to make my games. So that's it. That's the truth about BoneLabs, BoneWorks. It's been an incredible hype journey. I'm very happy this game is now available in VR and all you guys can enjoy it. Okay, so a bit of a difficult moment for me. My friend recently committed suicide due to mental health issues, leaving behind a wife and his children. And this is probably going to take a little bit of explaining. In the beginning of BoneLabs, you have to hang yourself to start the game. So you have to put a noose physically around your neck, and then the people like pull a lever, and then you sort of hang in midair. Something happens, I don't want to ruin it, but it reminded me of that. And it sounds crazy, and I'm going to explain the other bit before everyone thinks, oh, he's just saying something to be negative. In Superhot, a long time ago, I think the game said something like, fully give yourself to the game, and you had to step off a platform and kill yourself. It never bothered me. It never bothered me at all. It doesn't bother me shooting people in games, shooting zombies, blowing things up, running people over in GTA. It doesn't bother me. So it's that's what I'm saying, it's personal. That's why I said it was personal earlier. For some reason, putting a noose around my neck instantly reminded me of my friend killing himself. I've never really had that before. And I was trying to figure out why. And I don't know whether it's because of the action. The fact that you have to hold the noose and put it around your neck. And I've spent this weekend demoing VR to kids, teenagers, adults, completely new people. And I kind of then thought, this game is going to be played by a lot of younger people, younger than me. And I thought, what are the parents going to think? Like, do you want me to cast it? You can have a look at it. And they watch their kid hang themselves in a game. It's kind of like harrowing. When you think about it, you're like, geez, that is extreme. And I get that. I get that it's good to be extreme in games because then people take notice. But this is something that, for me, as I said, personally, I would like not to be in the game. That's it. That's it. You know, I just want to make you aware of that. I haven't shown it in any other part of this video just because it meant quite a lot to me. And as I said, like the time before my friend committing suicide in Superhot didn't bother me. So yeah, make of that what you will. I'm not trying to preach, I'm just trying to inform. So there we have it. That is the end of today's video. Thank you ever so much for watching. As always, please subscribe if you're looking for honest VR content, lots of fun on live streams, and remember to click like on the video if you enjoyed yourself. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.